Peggy Lee. And from Melbourne, Australia, weighing 145 pounds, Sabrina.
Sabrina goes after Peggy Lee. They were on opposite sides of a mixed tag team affair last weekend. Each girl scored a fall, so we can call this showdown time for Peggy Lee and Sabrina. Sabrina moves behind Peggy Lee with a full Nelson on Peggy. Peggy Lee trying to force her way out with power. Breaks out of it. Comes up with a full Nelson on Sabrina. Peggy Lee with the full Nelson now on Sabrina. Now here's the kind of match that Mickey can identify with. Mickey's speechless. Oh, nice move by Sabrina, dropping out of it and shoving Peggy Lee back to the ropes.
Great athletes, Larry, great athletes.
No question about that.
I tell you, there's a place in this world for these women wrestlers.
Definitely. You better say that. Look what happened when you got on Brown. About his hair.
I like this match better.
I think so. Step over toe hold by Sabrina on Peggy Lee. Nice counter by Peggy Lee. Comes up with a double toe hold on Sabrina. Good wrestling both ways there by Sabrina first and then countering it by Peggy Lee. Don't forget now, next weekend, the World Heavyweight Champion, Ric Flair, will be here in a special workout. Amateur style, basic fundamental wrestling. Something he wanted to do, and I think in deference to his position as the world champion and the fact that it's something different, I think the fans will enjoy it. Ric Flair, rather special situation next weekend on Wrestling at the Chase. Remember back, many years ago when Lou Thesz was the World Heavyweight Champion. Thesz gave a demonstration of the type of workout he goes through here on Wrestling at the Chase. I believe Joe Milich and some others were in the ring with him. Dory Funk Jr. did the same type of thing. And each wrestler, each athlete, of course, has different methods to stay in shape and to hone his skills. So it'll be interesting to see the type of thing that Ric Flair does. Some of the things. Some of them we probably don't want to know. Ric Flair lives life in the fast lane. He loves being the champion. No question about that. But he is a target. Everybody is shooting for him. He's number one up there alone on the pedestal. So it doesn't matter who it is or what night it is. Somebody's there looking to gun him down. Take that gold belt away, and sooner or later, you know it's going to happen. It happened to everyone before him. That day might be tomorrow, might be any night. It could be coming soon. A lot of people think Flair's starting to burn out a bit. And if so, the people who have matches coming up with him could be in prime position to be the next World Heavyweight Champion. Kick into the midsection by Peggy Lee. She's a rough customer. You must have been watching Brody earlier. Sabrina brought to the ropes and strangled over the ropes. Look at her yanking on the long hair. Peggy Lee using the long hair of Sabrina to Sabrina's disadvantage. Sabrina comes flying off the ropes and Lee drops her with a forearm smash. Lee with a straight body press and Sabrina throws Lee off. Front face lock by Peggy Lee on Sabrina. Lee reaching behind her for a little extra leverage there for a moment to hold Sabrina in the hold. Peggy Lee. Some would describe her as the face of an angel, but she's certainly not the picture of innocence at times. Tough gal. I don't know what Sabrina would describe her as. Not too complimentary, I'm sure. The referee wants a clean break from Sabrina and Peggy Lee. Lee grabs the hair and a punch to the stomach. Peggy Lee making life a little miserable for Sabrina. Oh, Peggy Lee using her fingernails on the back of Sabrina. Mickey, I better not let you go out with Peggy Lee after this.
Now if she scratches like that, that's
she's not
hurt.
Your type. Monkey flip by Sabrina. Oh, Sabrina coming back. Maybe Sabrina can teach Peggy Lee a few lessons. Oh, she sits over that chin lock and pulls the chin around. Sabrina taking control, also hooks the arm up in it to make it more effective. Now both arms pull back, and really it's a surfboard hold by Sabrina on Peggy Lee. The surfboard by Sabrina. Ouch. As you can obviously see, that's not the most comfortable position to spend your time in. Sabrina pulling back on those arms. Oh. Sabrina, of course, was once a co-holder of the Girls Tag Team Championship with Princess Victoria. They won the crown from Joyce Grable and Wendy Richter, and then lost it back to the same duo, and Richter and Grable, of course, are currently the Girls Tag Team title holders. The Fabulous Moolah, the individual champion, the World Girls Champion, the Fabulous Moolah. Lady has been around for a while. That's certainly true. Everybody knows it, but she's as tough as they come. When she's inside that ring, she brings excitement. You cannot take that away from her. Peggy Lee and Sabrina testing strength. Sabrina trying to get the edge, but Peggy Lee a bit the more strong of the two. Oh, nice move by Sabrina. Drop kick. And I think Peggy Lee wants to check her teeth. She might not get the chance, though, because Sabrina's right on top of her. Sabrina grabs Peggy Lee's hair and brings Peggy Lee right back into the ring. Oh, Sabrina catapulting Lee. Oh, right into the stomach. That hurts. I'm sorry, that just hurts. Oh. Peggy Lee with a punch in the stomach, but Sabrina battling back. Toe to toe, knee to knee, and down goes Sabrina. Peggy Lee whips Sabrina into the corner. Peggy Lee charges in and runs right into a drop kick from Sabrina. Sabrina trying to get Peggy Lee up. Peggy Lee blocks it. Goes underneath Sabrina. Sabrina trying to get behind Peggy Lee. She rolls Peggy Lee into a cradle, but they're in the ropes. There'll be no pin here.
Come on, Peggy. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes.
5 minutes remaining. And Peggy Lee and Sabrina have gone at it hot and heavy, but no falls yet between the two. Lee covers Sabrina. Sabrina gets the shoulder up, and Peggy Lee stays right on top of her. At this point, Peggy Lee appears to be the more aggressive of the two. Sabrina whips to the rope and catches a big elbow smash coming off. Sabrina in real trouble here of losing that first fall to Peggy Lee. Peggy Lee with a knee lift. And Sabrina really taking her lumps at the hands of Peggy Lee. She is one tough cookie. Forearm smash. Sabrina's going to have to go to some sort of finesse or basic wrestling move, I think, to turn this thing around. Because if it stays the type of rough match it's been, I think Peggy Lee has the edge. Oh, flying cross body blocked by Sabrina. She's got that leg cradled. And she gets the count of 3. Sabrina wins the first fall with a flying cross body block on Peggy Lee. Sabrina relying maybe on instinct, but she saw an opening and pounced right into the flying cross body block, and all of the work of Peggy Lee is for naught. Peggy Lee and the referee getting into nose-to-nose right now. Let's hear from Mickey Garagiola.
What a flying cross body block in 7 minutes and 32 seconds. The winner of the first fall, Sabrina.
Let's take another look at how that first fall ended. There's Peggy Lee whipping Sabrina to the rope. Sabrina comes off the flying cross body block. Beautifully done by Sabrina. Look at her hook that leg when it comes up from the momentum of Lee going backwards. That was the first fall, and Sabrina has the edge right now, but there's still time remaining, and you can bet Peggy Lee, as aggressive as she is going to go after the fall to even this match. She goes right into Sabrina. Drops the leg. Leg drop into the knee of Sabrina. Sabrina cries out. Peggy Lee now twisting that ankle the other way around. Peggy Lee drops the knee into the ankle of Sabrina. Lee obviously having something in mind that might involve the legs of Sabrina. Maybe a Boston crab or a half crab that she can use on Sabrina. Even a spinning toe hold. Peggy Lee punishing the leg of Sabrina. Sabrina grabs the hair of the referee. Eddie Smith stops that. Smith's done a good job trying to handle two Wildcats inside that ring. Peggy Lee grabs the leg again, stomps on that hamstring. And don't forget, next weekend, Wrestling at the Chase, the world champion Ric Flair will be here in a special workout. Oh, Lee tried to punish the leg and missed as Sabrina yanked the leg away. A kick to a rather exposed area of Peggy Lee by Sabrina. Can't you stop her, says Lee to Sabrina. I don't know that I want to try, Peggy.
2 minutes left, 2 minutes.
Peggy Lee wants to shake hands, make amends. Not me, says Peggy. Oh, come on, says Peggy Lee to Sabrina. Sabrina had the right idea. She kicked Peggy Lee, grabs the hair, and throws Lee backward. Sabrina trying to get a pin, but Lee manages to roll the shoulders up. Sabrina told her, let go of the hair. A kick to the back by Sabrina. Sabrina uses Peggy Lee as a doormat. It's getting rough. Ollie Hofstetter moving back a few feet from the ring. Our floor director was no part of Peggy Lee and Sabrina. Oh, what a forearm smash by Lee. You could hear that thing pop all over the studio. Oh. There have been some bruises dished out in this one.
One minute left, 1 minute.
Peggy Lee wants to tie this match at a fall apiece, and she's going after that fall with a vengeance. Sabrina taking a beating, but she has the fall, the only one that's in there so far. Peggy Lee trying to tie Sabrina up in the ropes, lifts her over the second rope. Peggy Lee pounding on Sabrina. The referee trying to get her back. Sabrina getting one leg out. Eddie Smith untangling Sabrina from the ropes. Sabrina trying to keep a little distance, trying to buy a little time because the clock is her ally here. Again, Lee bulls Sabrina to the ropes. Peggy Lee banging a shoulder to the stomach of Sabrina. Sabrina ready to throw a forearm smash, but Lee stepped away. And Lee is roughing up Sabrina, yanking that hair around. Sabrina slammed down to the mat by Peggy Lee, balled out by the referee. And there's the bell as Peggy Lee, really now seemingly just worried about punishing Sabrina, but the only fall that fit in before the curfew was Sabrina. Sabrina has the victory, and believe me, when you say hard earned, there's no cliche there. She earned that victory the hard way. Here's Mick.